Hello everyone, welcome to WWPWW, and this is Jeremy, and of course I am Caleb. Everybody, welcome. No news, no nothing. Everyone in Houston, stay safe. We love you. Send our thoughts, prayers, well wishes to everyone down there, including Buka and his family. But let's just go ahead and jump right in. No announcements. There's only one thing I want to talk about that happened on Monday Night Raw. It's the thing everybody's talking about. I'm, of course, talking about the contract signing / verbal confrontation between Roman Reigns and John Cena. Everyone is talking about this. We're going to talk about this for quite a bit of time, I feel, today. Jeremy, go ahead, take it away. Your thoughts on the whole scenario. Everything that happened. Please, go ahead. The floor is yours.
Dumb. No. Yeah, if we're just talking about that for a while, it's interesting because, and I know John said they broke the fourth wall. The reality is they didn't. The reality is what they've done is taken everything that everybody's saying on Twitter, everything that everybody's saying on YouTube, and is actually using to their advantage. And guess what? I'm okay with that. I'm okay with them, quote unquote, breaking the fourth wall.
Doing a work shoot.
I know that John, from what I understand, John had a lot to do with the writing of this.
Mm-hmm.
He was backstage writing it, coming up with the stuff, and it was good. It was really good. Maybe not as great as some of the things that have happened in the past, but it was one of the better things that Roman's ever done. Outside of after beating Undertaker and then coming out and said, "This is my yard now." That was his greatest promo, in my opinion, still the greatest promo of the year because the way the crowd reacted. But this is good. This is at least someone in the back realizing what the world is saying, and then putting it into words. Everything that everybody has ever said about John, everything that everybody has said about Roman was said during that work shoot promo. It wasn't bad. It was good. It was. There were a couple times I was just like, "Whoa, did they just say that?"
Mm-hmm.
Natalia actually had a moment like that this week in her promo on SmackDown Live too, which was pretty funny. But they're taking what the world is saying about them and actually using it, and that's what they've needed to do for a long time. Not necessarily make fun of itself, but make fun of itself. And they did it. They did a great job. Caleb, what was your thoughts?
I have quite a few thoughts, actually. Yeah, I thought this was amazing too. I thought that it should have been a little more even keeled because I'm sick and tired of them. Yeah. I'm sick and tired of John Cena always getting the last word, and it's just like the dude's so great on the mic, like he can't always have the last word. Yeah. There needs to be a form of balance, including in something like this, unless it's John is gonna talk the talk, but Roman's gonna walk the walk. One major thing that this back and forth did for me was it basically looked like he kind of emasculated Roman a little bit. And like when Roman came back, he came back hard. He had some great digs. Like they even had to bleep one of his digs. He came back hard. Everything he brought up about John Cena is all stuff that I soured on John Cena about. Like back in the day, that's what soured me on John Cena. Everything that Roman Reigns said. And this promo did such a great job, and it made me angry at Cena, and it made me want to see Roman stomp a mud hole in him. It did a good job of that. Other people are just going to be like, Roman sucks, Cena said so, Cena said all this great stuff, because, everybody just hates Roman just to, show how cool they are. And, but yeah, I thought that they were shooting from the hip. And then Meltzer, I listened to his podcast, and he said that, it was all scripted, but it was made to give that appearance of they were.
There may have been one point where he tripped up the Cena.
Yeah, he said and then.
But even then, you look back and it's like that might have actually been planned.
It might have.
Anyway, go ahead.
Yeah, no, it's fine. But yeah, these two guys were going at each other hard and stuff like that, and it's just it seemed like they genuinely hated each other. Yep. I've never heard anything about them backstage. I don't know if they get along. I don't know if they dislike each other at all.
They've never had programs together.
They really haven't. They've only had one, but it was right after the Shield broke up.
The stuff that doesn't.
But yeah, it was it was a 4-way feud with Roman and Cena and Bray and all these other people. It was like a big four-way, program. But yeah, they've never had a one-on-one thing, and like both of these guys get a lot of hate. Much of it is undeserved. Some of it is a little, for both of them. Like Roman's not the best talker, we've said, but that's not really important to his character. It really isn't. But when he can grab a hold of that fire and bring it out, they need to quit scripting him.
Yes.
They need to let him kind of shoot from the hip.
Yeah, they need to work with him and think, how does he best talk?
Yeah.
And like you said, not script him. And how does he communicate the best? And he communicates by not talking.
Yeah.
Best. And they've done that in the past. But what they did during this was really good. Like you could see the fire in him. And whether he believed what he was saying or not, you felt like he believed what he was saying.
Yeah, exactly. Like these guys did just such a great job of conveying emotion, and it made me forget that I was watching wrestling. Like because it's like on What Culture and stuff like that. They always say like people who don't watch wrestling are like wrestling's fake. So it's like yeah, so's Harry Potter. Screw off. Like
Yeah.
like why do people always feel like they need it? Like if somebody's like, oh, I love Harry Potter, like, oh yeah, me too. But it's like, oh yeah, I like wrestling. People are just like, what? That's fake though. Like it's basically a live movie that's being put on. It's a soap opera for guys.
Yeah, why do you think they've termed it sports entertainment now?
Yeah.
It's entertainment. It's exactly what it is.
They're athletes and they're actors combined. And
stunt doubles and all these different things.
Yeah.
They're amazing athletes.
And like they do all this great stuff like this. This in the same way like a great movie like, Terminator 2 or Lord of the Rings or something like that. A movie that can like really dig deep, in you and like kind of can, get your emotions. Like this did that. It elicited an emotional response from me and made me forget. Kayfabe was just a word.
Mm-hmm.
In terms of like, this was real, in a way. You know what I mean? Like they were playing the characters of John Cena and Roman Reigns to great effect, and I forgot I was watching a scripted segment on a wrestling thing. I thought I was watching a war of words between two men who hated each other, and it was just, like my heart was pounding like crazy, and I was just like, it's almost like when you see two friends start to have a massive argument, and they're going back and forth arguing, and you think, okay, is one of them gonna just take a swing at the other one because they're fed up? Like, it kind of had that feeling to it, and it just like, man, it was great. Like they both did a great job of it, and
almost a little bit too good of a job because because I was watching it and I got like you I got into it. I'm like, especially when Roman got worked up and you could see him just kind of breaking his just glare like he always does out in the crowd, and he just breaks down. He becomes Samoan. Like the dude, you see shades of the Usos, you see shades of his relatives, and it's just like, do that more.
Yeah.
Somehow, like, and he needs to work with Cena in this, because Cena is the outside of the Miz right now, in the talent that actually works every day. Cena is the best talker, and so he needs to start giving back. Even though it seems like the last couple weeks with the whole Baron Corbin thing, he doesn't seem like he's giving back as much. Even though he kind of said, "Oh, I gave AJ Styles the whole U.S. title and stuff." Like, we get it, John. We know that you think you've been giving back.
Mm-hmm.
The reality is, yes, with Baron Corbin, I think that was kind of like, it was almost as if that was being used as a job interview.
Mm-hmm.
And so if I take that whole feud as John Cena, the veteran of talent, essentially, doing that whole Baron Corbin feud as is Baron Corbin ready, and then basically John Cena saying you're not ready, essentially out loud in the event. That part annoyed me. Say it backstage. It's like, dude, you're not ready. You need to work on this. Like, don't do it out in public. That's what makes John Cena a douchebag, is that he does it in the ring. He tells you in the ring that you're not ready. Do it backstage. This is a business, John. You are not very professional in that. That being said, the way you communicated to Roman, even though it's scripted and even though you wrote some of it, you're a douchebag now. I care less about you right now. You are being protected by a lot of different people right now. You're getting ready to go away and film the Bumblebee movie, and because of that, you can't wrestle because one of the guys who is high up in the WWE is also the Hasbro president, the CEO of Hasbro. And so because of what happened with you and Shinsuke, you will not be wrestling during making films. So you're going to be going away. Go away. Just go away forever. I don't care about you, John. You have ruined you have ruined John Cena for me. Especially after this. I'm done. I'm done with you. Let's move on. John Cena era is over. Let's just move on.
Yeah, see, like, everything that Roman said about John, I'm just like, he's right, you know.
Yeah.
He is protected.
Yeah.
He is a part-timer. And, like, the dude's...
And Roman's not.
Roman's not. Like he said, you know, I bust my butt, you know, 4 or 5 days out of the week and stuff like that. And then when he just broke down and said, you know, I'm going to be damned if I do away with my legacy, my family, my bloodline to say I'm the next John Cena. I was just like, just like, yeah, like, he's not wrong with anything he said. And, you know, John Cena's just like, oh yeah, I took the U.S. title to elevate, to show and elevate new talent. He's like, you know, like Kevin Owens and AJ Styles. He wasn't the U.S. champ when AJ Styles was around, so that didn't make sense. But yeah, you did a job to AJ Styles twice, and then you got the last laugh at the Royal Rumble and won your 16th championship. So, in a larger sense, you know,
you're a douchebag, John.
Up yours. And then, and just like with the whole Kevin Owens thing, yeah, you lost to him once and then beat him 2 more times. I'm just like, it's just like, because I don't want to drink the whole hate on John Cena Kool-Aid. I don't want to hate on him just to try to seem cool like people do with Roman or something like that. And he did so much over this past year to make me like him again, because all the stuff that Roman said is why I soured on him over the years. And then he made me come back around and like it more again. And then he just completely undid all of that, like I told you in the text, with this bit. And it's just like, dude, you are good. You are. But it doesn't change the fact that all the stuff Roman said about you is true. You do stay on top. You know, you do bury people sometimes. You are protected. You are the golden boy. Like, and like it or not, you are a part-timer. Like, it's just like, dude, in your program with Rock a couple years ago, you gave him crap about that. And so...
And granted, yeah, it's time for you to move on, and you're seeking other ventures and other venues.
And that's fine.
And that's perfectly fine. But let's stop the whole everybody calling you a part-timer and then you be like, I'm not a part-timer, blah blah. No, you're a part-timer. Let's just get on with that and realize that you're off doing movies. And again, like I said, there's nothing wrong with that. But everything that was said about both parties is true. Roman needs to work on his promos.
Yeah.
Absolutely. But Roman's also right. He's not a carbon copy of John Cena. He's more Undertaker than he is John Cena. And so, for me, because John is like The Rock. He's going off and doing those things. Roman's is not. Roman, I don't even know if he wants to go off and do movies. But
if he did, he might do a WWE movie.
Yeah. And, you know, he's did sound bites for the Jetsons movie.
Yeah.
So, I mean, he's been in stuff, but even so, he's not John Cena. He's not packaged like John Cena. He's not packaged like The Rock, who are great talkers, who are great communicators, who are great entertainers. He's a great entertainer. He will always work in the ring. If he's not in the ring, I'm sure he'll do stuff behind the scenes. Because the dude is talented. He knows the business. He's respected in the back at least. And like I said, he's more Undertaker than he is John Cena. There's not really or even The Rock. There's not a charismatic guy outside of The Miz, but nobody's getting on the Miz train, which is too bad.
Yeah.
Outside of The Miz, there's nobody who is a great talker every time they're on camera. What do we do to fix that? One, we don't have John Cena talking to them. If you want Baron Corbin to be a part of the upper echelon in WWE, actually, Speaking of which, I think Bobby Roode will be that next Mike guy. But anyway, that's me.
Yeah, I can see that.
But if you want Baron to be upper echelon, you don't put him in programs with John Cena. Not yet. Because John Cena is a great talker. You don't put John Cena next to a guy who just can't talk on the mic. You put John Cena in the same room with these people to help them with their mic skills. You have him become an educator in the wrestling
Trial
realm.
by fire doesn't always work.
No, it doesn't work at all. I mean, it really doesn't. Because what happens is, even if you do succeed, that success will go to your head. The next time you go out there and you don't succeed, you're going to fail. You'll go back and you'll be depressed. And so trial by fire is never going to work. But John Cena is not going to stay around. John Cena will not be an educator. Not now. Maybe when he's Shawn Michaels' age or older, he'll come back and give back. The WWE needs someone like John Cena, like The Rock, like these guys who gave their life to the company and could cut a promo to go in and just, here's how you cut a promo. And they also need better writers, but that's at least Raw does. I think SmackDown's writers from NXT have been decent. It's more the people giving the promos that are part of the issue. But anyway, that's my 2 cents.
Yeah, it was so much stuff went on. So many things came out of this, and it's funny because whenever somebody was talking to the other, when somebody was talking, they were getting cheered. When John Cena said all that stuff about Roman, people cheered John. And then the tables turned when Roman said all the stuff about Cena, everybody cheered Roman. Like when he said, you're nothing but a corporately constructed John Cena bootleg, people popped for that. And then when he came back and said, you suck, you're a corporate yes man, you kiss Vince McMahon's butt, and you're a part-time and fake bleep bleep. Like, people pop for that like crazy because it's just like, wow, Roman just went straight gangster on that. Like, he just went hard on that. And so, yeah, like, this made me infinitely more interested in this feud than I was, because now I feel emotionally invested. Because now I'm just like, stop taking guys who are, not great talkers, who can hold their own, but not the best. Stop taking guys who are not great talkers.
Mediocre.
Yeah, who are mediocre talkers, who are usually strong, stoic guys, and then putting them up with John Cena.
Stop it.
Stop doing that. You're not going to take a single-A baseball player and put them,
Remember when Michael Jordan went to baseball?
Yeah.
You can't do that.
You can't do that, yeah. Like, seriously, you can't take a single-A baseball player and then just jettison them straight to Major League Baseball. They're going to get owned. They have to go through single-A, double-A, and triple-A, and then finally MLB. Like, they need to learn. They need to play and get better. They cannot do that.
Yeah, and I think one of the things we also need to understand is this was kind of fast-tracked because they wanted this match, I think, to be at Survivor Series. But because of what happened with, like I was saying, because of what happened with Shinsuke and dropping John on the back of his neck, the CEO of Hasbro does not want John to be in the ring as he is filming this movie, and so he will be gone for a while after this, because he's starting soon. I don't remember when it's starting, but he's obviously starting before Survivor Series, and so the reason why this was fast tracked to No Mercy. I mean, this is a Big Four paper. This match is a Big Four match, and the reason why it's not on Survivor Series is because he's going to film the movie. After that, we'll see what happens. I can't remember what it was supposed to be. I think it was supposed to be they were wanting the Miz versus Roman, so that Roman can have the Grand Slam, if you will, have all the titles that they could currently have. But that obviously isn't the case, so that'll probably happen after No Mercy, is my guess. But also, we also have to know that Brock Lesnar is getting ready to leave for a little bit. Don't know why, but he's not scheduled for anything after No Mercy. So we'll see what happens after that. Anyway, is there anything else you want to talk about the promo, or do you want to talk about the rest of the show?
Yeah, we can move on and talk about the rest of the show, but yeah, I just figured we should devote a lot of time to that because that was
Yep.
a pretty big thing to talk about, and everybody's talking about it. And
Do you think this is the new pipe bomb?
yes, I feel like this will be. Yeah, I think people will stop talking about the CM Punk pipe bomb for a while because this was pretty hard hitting too. Because these were two polarizing figures saying every single thing that marks on Twitter and people in YouTube comments have been saying. And like, yeah, I mean, because it's funny, like I said to you in the thing, John Cena, was just like, all these people want to see me, maybe do a little heel turn. I'm just like, dude, after everything you just said, you did turn heel, like, basically. Yep. Like.
But people are going to like you now, finally, because of all the stuff you said against Roman. Anybody against Roman is going to be liked.
Yeah.
Which is sad.
Yeah, it is. I mean, like, but yeah, I mean, it got a reaction out of me because I just want to see, Roman just own him, like.
We'll see what happens.
And yeah, like if Cena wins and then goes away, like that's gonna just anger me immensely.
Yep.
And folks, we're not idiots. We know wrestling is scripted. We know wrestling is quote unquote fake. And in some senses, it doesn't matter who wins or loses. But John Cena's had his time in the sun, and they're trying to build up all the younger guys, especially the three Shield guys.
Yeah.
So I feel like this is one of the senses, and I know people will just endlessly say he can't wrestle, and he's not a good talker, so therefore blah. Like it's just like you guys said that, like talking was the only thing people had anything good to say about John Cena back in the day, and people booed him and still boo him. But everything they're saying about Roman Reigns, they all said about John Cena 10 years ago.
Yeah, and even The Rock wasn't the greatest wrestler.
Mm-hmm.
He was the greatest showman.
Yeah.
Probably that's ever been in the ring. And even Stone Cold. Stone Cold was better than The Rock in the ring, I think. But even you would rather hear him on the mic than see him wrestle, to be honest, with it all. And so, but now you have a guy who's not great on the mic, but can actually both brawl and be some kind of technical wrestler. I mean, again, we go back to the AJ Styles match and realize that he was so good in that match, he can hold his own against other people. We just have to understand that. He's not going to be the mic guy that WWE wants or needs. But there are other guys in the company that can do that.
Yeah. It's
the same way that when The Rock and Stone Cold were in wrestling. There were people who couldn't talk on the mic, but you would want to watch them wrestle.
Yeah.
This is going to be the same thing.
It is. Because everybody wants, that's why, AJ Styles is the greatest wrestler of all time and can never do any wrong.
Yeah.
Is because he can go hard on the mic, and he's the greatest in-ring guy I've ever seen. So, everybody wants somebody who talks like Rock, but, wrestles like AJ or something like that. And it's just like, you're hardly going to find that guy.
No. And especially now with the most scripted, I don't know how scripted it was back in the day, but now it's uber scripted that they have to make every text their own. Just let them go. Just like I've heard, some people get the talking points. Here's what you need to talk about at this time. Just give them the talking points and have them go out and be themselves. Like Roman was for that small moment where he's walking back and forth. I'm like, I don't want to make that dude mad because of how I was acting. But anyway.
Yeah.
So much stuff. We could probably talk hours and hours and hours on all the stuff that happened in that. But for the rest of Raw, do you want me to talk first? Or do you want to?
No, you go ahead, please.
The rest of Raw, it was a relatively solid show. I liked the fact that they're doing two things, or they're doing one thing with two belts. They're elevating the Intercontinental belt and they're elevating the U.S. Championship.
Mm-hmm.
With the Intercontinental belt, they're having, they had the Rumble, and so that was great. They're getting ready to elevate it.
That old-fashioned battle royal.
Yeah, I don't think Jeff is going to win it. It might. The Rumble itself had so many different storylines that I felt like I was reading comics, as if a comic book writer was writing this, because there were so many different things. I can't even remember them all, but there were so many different things. I love what they did with Kurt Hawkins. Love that.
Yeah, that was funny.
Keep that. I mean, one of the best things about WWE is they have their history in their history they have had some great jobbers that you just love. Brooklyn Brawler, Blue Meanie, all these other guys who it's like they didn't get the wins, but you remember them.
Mm-hmm.
Kurt Hawkins is going to be one of those guys for me.
Yeah.
You remember him for the streak of losing, and the fact that he's hilarious on Twitter. If you don't follow him,
he is
great on Twitter. And so I loved what they did there. I loved every bit of the Rumble, and I loved all the storylines interweaved in between there, and then continuing the storyline of Bray and Finn and even going off. And
that was one of my favorite bits was Bray coming in and throwing out Finn. I'm glad they're continuing that story.
Yeah, I am too. That Bray's not over his loss, and let's go past the Demon King and see what these guys can actually do in the ring together. And even the club reunion, even though Memphis didn't really care or didn't understand what was going on, that was great. And all these just intertwining storylines, it was one of my favorite things about Raw, because of so many different things going on. Even the whole, like, maybe even more on the Woken Matt Hardy stuff. Just so many great things in that. The thing I don't understand is because I thought, in my mind, after the new pipe bomb, after the Cena Reigns thing, my mind was made up that was the last thing on the card. And then we got a women's match, which I'm fine with. But they shouldn't have had the women close the show. Mostly because everybody's not remembering anything about that match. They just know that Alexa won, and that's it.
Yeah.
They ruined that match. The Cena and Reigns ruined that match. That should have been on end.
Yeah, that should have been at the very end.
And even that tag team match was fun to watch. I loved Roman's like, go ahead and tag me. Oh no, go ahead and tag me. Oh no.
Yeah.
Type stuff.
But he shouldn't have tagged in. Like, they should have done a thing where he just Cena goes over tag and then he just pulls his hand back and then walks away.
Yep.
And then the club just owns him. That would have been sweet.
It would have, but it's not what happened. So, like I said, the Rumble is my favorite thing. I'm sad and I'm glad Alexa won at the end. Mostly because, and I probably understand what you're going to say.
Yeah, I'll say it in a second.
And I like that they're going to go Alexa Nia. I think Nia does need the belt for a bit because Asuka's going to come in, and I think Asuka will defeat Nia. Because I think you need to protect Alexa, who is one of your bigger stars and everybody loves, and you need to protect Sasha because some people love her more than others, and Bayley's hurt. And I don't think Bayley should lose to Asuka. The problem they're going to have when Asuka comes in is Asuka's going to be a monster, and nobody's going to be able to defeat her.
Yeah.
Ever. Like from what I understand, from what the rumors are, is she's going to come in and have the dominance that she has with that. And I think the only person that there's nobody that can defeat her unless other people come up, like Baszler coming up from NXT sometime.
Or Ronda Rousey.
Or Rousey.
Female Brock Lesnar.
Who was recently married, by the way. Congrats,
yeah.
Ronda. And spouse, though I can't remember his name.
Travis Brown.
There we go, Travis Brown.
He beat his last wife.
Oh.
Allegedly.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Allegedly.
Okay.
For legal reasons.
Fair enough. So yeah, like
not getting invited to their reception. Anyways.
It's getting hot in here.
Little Rodney Dangerfield for the kids. Because everybody knows who Rodney Dangerfield is these days.
Yeah.
Anyways, I'm sorry. Continue.
So yeah, like as far as the women's picture on Raw, once Asuka comes up, it's going to be interesting and probably pretty boring.
Yeah, because she's just going to kill everyone.
Yeah, I like Asuka as much as the next person. But
I do too, but they kind of backed themselves into a corner with booking her so strong.
They did, and I'm glad she got hurt because that was the only way that the title is going to leave. Only way. And so I'm looking forward to NXT with that. But anyway, they built her way too strong. She will be the women's champion and on Raw. She's not going to go to SmackDown. She'll be women's champion on Raw, and all the Raw ladies will want to go to SmackDown because of that.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, that's that. And so for me, Raw was a decent show. I enjoyed a majority of it. What about you?
Yeah, I enjoyed a majority of it too. Just on a quick side note, I loved after the Cena Reigns thing when they were staring each other down. The club came out, and it just killed me when when Chad Too Bad, I'm just gonna call him that. Carl Anderson was just like, whoa, 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 John Cena, not a good brother. Roman Reigns, not a good brother. Like, that was funny. Like, just throwing that out there. I don't know. That just tickled me. I thought that was cute. And just so all right, the women's thing. Sasha and Alexa had the match, a little over a week ago at SummerSlam, where Sasha won, and then now they have a match, a little over a week later, and then Alexa wins the belt right back, and now she's moving into a feud with Nia, making the title change at SummerSlam entirely pointless. I honestly feel like it was just like she dropped the belt at SummerSlam last year to Charlotte because she was injured. She was gonna keep it for a while, but she dropped it to Charlotte last year at SummerSlam because she was injured, and so it just seems like they're doing this just to make up for that last year. It's just like, yeah, we'll have you win at SummerSlam, but you're only gonna have it for a week because Alexa's gonna win it right back. That's stupid. I'm sorry, that's stupid. Yep. Like, I just, it was just entirely pointless. It was entirely pointless. There was no reason to do it.
Agreed.
You could have kept it on Alexa. It's just like, what is it, like 8 days or something like that. Like, you could have just kept it on her. Like, that wouldn't have hurt. And even if you wanted to protect Sasha, you could have had the match, both times end via shenanigans. She is a heel after all. So, whatever. It's just.
From what I understand, a lot of the matches at SummerSlam were kind of decided because Vince was like, "Oh, let's change things up. Let's make them guess who's going to win." And so they changed a lot of the championships, especially the Cruiserweight. Before that, Cruiserweight Championship wasn't going to be Neville was supposed to keep it, but Vince came in and was like, "Well, just throw it on to Zell." And so it's one of those things with Vince. When Vince shows up, things are going to change because he's crazy.
Yeah, that's
probably why it happened. It was
probably
Vince just coming in and just being like, "I'm a nutbag. Let's just go ahead and do this for now."
Yeah.
But you're right. It makes no sense. It's pointless.
It was absolutely pointless. It made no sense, and it angered me more than it should have.
Yep.
Because it's just like, so Alexa had a good reign. She was the first woman to win both women's belts. Everybody loves her. I think she's doing a great job. She's one of the best heels, not just in the women's division. She's one of the best heels, period, in WWF. She's fantastic.
Yep.
And it's so funny because, like, listening to her on Jericho's podcast a couple months ago, she said, like, I just am not that type of person. It was hard because I always wanted everybody to like me, and I wanted to like everybody. So it was hard for me to go to that place. It was hard for me to be mean to people because I didn't want. And it's just like, well, I couldn't tell. You're great at it, like. And
Yep.
It's
agreed.
stupid. It made no sense, and it angered me more than it should have because it's just stupid. Like, I like Sasha, I do, but she just had her big long thing last year with Charlotte, and now we need to kind of move on to other things. Her time will come again. Of course it will. She's a fantastic wrestler. But, like, did she really need to hold the title for 8 days just to lose it back to Alexa?
Nope.
So Alexa could feud with Nia Jax? No! No!
No, she did not.
No, she did not.
So for me, that really soured the episode. I liked what happened at the end with Nia.
I did too.
But
I mean, they stole it right from Evolution when Randy Orton turned babyface, but
yeah. Yep.
But still, it was good.
Like we've said before, there is nothing in wrestling that is new.
Yeah.
Nothing else.
There's just old stuff that's redressed.
Yep. Even the quote unquote new pipe bomb is
Yeah.
not new. Even that pipe bomb that CM Punk is not new. It's just it shocked people at the time.
Yeah.
And so, yeah. Anyway, anything else you want to talk about, Raw?
I don't think so, man. I saw the full 3-hour version, but I skipped a lot of it. We got to see Enzo's first cruiserweight match. It was against Noam Dar. Did you see that?
I did not,
So
but I did watch. I watched 205 Live to see.
He was on there, right?
Yeah.
He was in a 6-man tag or something like that. But yeah, his match against Noam Dar wasn't bad. Good debut and stuff like that. Sweet. Anyways, yeah. I can't wait to talk about SmackDown Live because I have a funny, silly story that's just totally random and doesn't make sense
Fair enough.
to share at the end of talking about that. But anyways,
The other stuff was pretty good. I like Sheamus and Cesaro,
mhm,
and I like them even more after I listened to podcasts they're on.
mhm.
I started listening to Lillian Grace has a new
Oh yeah.
not Grace, Lillian Garcia.
I knew who you meant.
Lillian Garcia has a new podcast called Chasing Glory, I think is what it's called, and Sheamus was on it. And so listening to him and his background and stuff was really good. And so watching what goes on, I mean, he loves his character. He basically said, I don't care about all of the belts. I want to go out there and I want to be the character. I enjoy that aspect more than anything. And he talked about how he likes wrestling. He likes working with wrestlers who can take a beating. Because he's like when I go out there, I'm gonna hit you. When I do the 10 clubs, I'm gonna hit you. If you can't take it, don't get in the ring with me, type thing. Which I respect because you want an aspect of a reality. And so I like what they did with them on Raw, even though it was silly-ish. I do like it. It continues their feud, and I've liked everything that Sheamus and Cesaro have been doing lately, with the Hardys, and now with the new champions, the quote-unquote Shield. And so everything was pretty good that I saw, at least on Hulu. Is there anything else you want to talk about? I know Emma had a match with Mickie James. You probably fast forward to that.
Yeah, I watched it just because I thought it had the potential to be good, and it did have the potential to be good. It was just too short. So it just seems like they were both like, hey, we need something to do, because it seems like they're both waiting on a feud to arrive. Like, they're just like, we have to wait for this feud to be over so we can both go do something with the people in it or whatever. So it seemed like they're just like, we need something to do for tonight until this thing can move, until this thing becomes available to us or something. I don't know, it was weird. Basically, the stipulation of the match was if Mickie loses, that she has to tweet something Emma makes her do.
Okay.
Which I know I'm sure people will complain about. I thought it was silly. So I was just like, I don't care. It's silly. I like it. Like, whatever.
That's funny.
But yeah, it's always funny because like I always forget that Mickie James is like part Native American.
Yep.
Because like she had like the get up she had on backstage. It was just like she looks like an Indian. Like I was like, oh yeah, it's because she's from Virginia. She's part Powhatan. Like I was just like, all right, that makes sense.
That's funny.
Anyways,
All right.
letter grade.
If there's nothing else about Raw, letter grade, I'd give it. I'm conflicted. I give it a B. I really like all the storylines in the Rumble, and I enjoyed the Cena Reigns thing. Again, Cena has soured me on him for now. So yeah, I give it a B. What about you?
Yeah, I'd give it a B. Also, I think nothing too spectacular except, of course, for the it's not a pipe bomb. I'm gonna call that an atom bomb. That was an atom bomb right there. Yeah, that was pretty hardcore right there. So yeah, I'd give it a B. Also, I think. So, all right. Well, I guess we can move right into the SmackDown. SmackDown, as we already said. Don't know why I felt like I needed to say it twice, but. So, SmackDown, what did we like, what did we not like? Well, first of all, I liked everything that happened with the, I'm just going to call it the UN, with Shinsuke, Randy, and then Jinder and Rusev. I liked all that stuff. That was all good, and then the match, I really dug the match, and then next week, we get the whole big reveal of we're going to have Randy and Shinsuke in a match to determine who will face Jinder Mahal for the title next. So can't wait for that next week. I think that'll be awesome. And blah, 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 blah. Everything I was about to say just completely left my head.
You said you had a story?
Yeah, I did. I was gonna wait and talk about that at the end,
okay.
but it's just kind of a silly story. But dang it! Like, I just had a bunch of other stuff that I was gonna talk about SmackDown.
Okay.
Dang it! But anyways, yeah, I'll just turn it over to you so you can talk about stuff, and then hopefully it'll all come back to me.
Okay. There were a couple of moments that were funny to me because you could tell that the writers are just like, you know what, I'm going to take everything from social media and just put it in here. Like Natty's comment about making Carmella the Baron Corbin of the women's division. Like, I understand that was supposed to mean that she was the Money in the Bank, she would lose the briefcase and all that stuff. But still, come on. You're continuing, not necessarily bury Baron, but I think the burying of
I think he
Baron,
learned his lesson. Stop it.
Yeah, I think so too. I don't know that he's actually going to win the U.S. Championship by any means, but at least he's going to climb back up. And so we'll see what happens there. And so I thought that was funny. There was the Fashion Files, or the Fashion whatever it's called this week.
Still not starring Chuck Norris.
Yeah, still not starring Chuck Norris. And we had the new tech, and he picks up Vandigo picks up the belt, and he's like, I know what this is. It's a title. No, that's a belt. Oh, like, come on. That was ribbing.
That was funny.
That was ribbing Vince McMahon. I mean, that's a rib against Vince McMahon because he doesn't like them to be called belts. They're titles.
Yeah.
That was hilarious. Loved that. And I liked all of the Fashion Files. The problem is the crowd. There was no reaction, and so that was kind of sad.
Yeah. It's Little Rock. They must not get out much.
They must.
Just kidding, Little Rock.
My favorite thing about the whole episode was the Usos.
Oh, yes.
The Usos and getting the stipulation. My guess is the next pay-per-view for SmackDown Live is Hell in a Cell.
Ooh, Hell in a Cell tag team match.
That's my assumption.
Oh, that'd be sweet.
Because
I hope so.
And as I thought about that, it's like penitentiary. It's gonna be
an Uso penitentiary match.
Yeah, that's what's gonna be, and it's gonna be in the Hell in a Cell. Either which way, that will be a great match.
That would be cool. Yeah.
No matter what, what match it is.
Can I just say?
Yeah.
They're just hitting the mark with the Usos. They are my favorite tag team right now. They're doing an amazing job. Like, their heel personas have been spectacular, and
Agreed.
Everything, like, I don't know, like when they first started out as these, as the new, thug, like, thug life, hard gangster type Usos. It took them a while to kind of find much more sure footing and stuff like that, but when they found it, and they have found it, they've been doing great, and so they're awesome. Like, those guys are on fire right now. Like, they're doing great, and everything they're doing with New Day has been nothing short of spectacular. So if they do a quote unquote Uso penitentiary match, in a Hell in a Cell, I think that'll be awesome, because it's going to be probably a tornado tag with everybody in the ring at the same time. I'm getting all jacked up just thinking about. Hopefully that's what'll happen. So, anyways, turn it back over to you.
No, it's fine. From what I've read, it looks like WWE wants to make the New Day the best tag team of all time. Thus, the beating of Demolition's record. Now they're going to try to put the belts on them, the record-breaking times, and so we're going to see this back and forth stuff. Maybe not from the Usos, but whoever. I bet the New Day will win, no matter what match they have, so they can have to be the 4-time tag team champions, and then they'll go off into another program with somebody else, and that'll go back and forth, and then they'll become the 5th time and all that, whatever. I think that's dumb. I think you just need to let it ride out, but whatever. But I like everything that they're doing with them. I like the U.S. Open Challenge.
Yeah.
I'm sad that some people I love, like Ty Dillinger, are kind of being jobbers at the moment. I'd like for them not to be.
Yeah, but that match was fast-paced and hard-hitting, so...
I'd like to see a program between those two eventually, someday down the road. But and even the Bobby Roode match with who do you
Mike
Mike
Kanellis.
Kanellis. It was fine too.
Yeah.
Mike actually got some good stuff in there. It wasn't really a squash match, which was nice to see. And from what I understand, Mike is dealing with some personal demons, and he's getting help with. And so one of the reasons why we haven't seen him is because one, his health has been, his physical health hasn't been the greatest. He has had issues with substance abuse, and so he's getting help with that. And so that's great. Mike, I hope you continue in getting help with this, because we'd like to see what you can do on the main roster here. But everything else, I mean, I like what Kevin Owens did, becoming the ref. I like that Kevin Owens and Shane are going to have a feud. I think Shane and Kevin will that will be in a Hell in a Cell match.
That'd be cool.
Yeah, that'd be fun to watch. Yeah, everything was fine. I actually didn't like the main event.
Really?
The thing I liked about it was Randy's look at Shinsuke. The cold stare that he gave Shinsuke. That was cool.
The whole it's not about being friends, it's about winning.
Yeah, that whole thing was cool. I'm interested in seeing what happens this match. I don't like the way this has happened, because Shinsuke beat John Cena in the same match. I'm assuming Shinsuke is going to beat Randy Orton.
I'd assume so.
Which is stupid. It's stupid to do the same match over and over again with these legends of wrestling. And I know, from what all reports, is Randy's not happy on SmackDown. He wants to go, and the reason why he's not happy, I understand, but I don't necessarily like it. The reason why he's not happy on SmackDown is because he wants to work closer with Vince, and Vince isn't there at SmackDown. He doesn't travel with SmackDown as much. He goes there occasionally. He's not hands-on with SmackDown as he is with Raw. And so Randy wants to go, he'd rather go work with Vince than work with people on SmackDown, which I understand. Randy and Vince have a relationship, and I get. But this whole match thing needs to stop. The same match over and over again.
Hopefully this will be the last time. And
hopefully.
And I'm sure, I'm looking forward to that match next week.
On paper, it should be good.
So that's why I'm okay with it. The main event was not spectacular, but I just enjoyed that it had a big feel to it, and I enjoyed what happened next with Randy. I don't think it's a heel turn necessarily.
No.
I think it's just him saying yeah, we're teammates, but we already won. It's over. I'm looking forward to next week because I want to win. This is him being the Viper. This isn't him. I don't think this is him turning heel again or anything like that.
I think he actually wants to be heel, but you're right. This wasn't that. It wasn't a, hey, I'm going to become a heel. It was a, hey, I want that title.
Yeah, I'm here to win.
Yeah, I'm here to win. And so I do hope they eventually will do a shake-up again. I think it's time to move some people
in between. Yeah.
In between would be great. And I think Randy would be, from what I understand, Randy really enjoyed his program with Bray. I would like to see that be picked up eventually again, differently, but still picked up again. I'd like to see Randy versus a lot of people on Raw right now. Finn.
Randy and Finn for me is one of the big money matches, and I don't know how come they haven't done Randy Orton versus AJ Styles yet. That's something I really want.
That'll be an interesting match. That would be an interesting match. I agree with. I think I'm becoming more in agreement with Vince in that, or whoever's idea it is, to do 2 a year, do a shake-up a year. It makes sense. It keeps things fresh. It keeps things new. Instead of doing a draft every year, do a shake-up. Just like we're gonna move these people to this brand. We're gonna move these people to this brand. We're gonna move people down to NXT. Even I don't really care about that either. I don't mind that, is what I mean. I don't mind that either. 205 Live, there are people on 205 Live I hadn't watched in a long time until today. Cedric could be in a program with anybody on the main roster. He could go. I think he should be on SmackDown personally. Cedric Alexander should. He's so talented and so fun to watch. But anyway, yeah. I mean, it'd be great. It'd be great to do some switching up now, and then eventually, probably after, I would think after Royal Rumble. Anyway, that's my thoughts. Anything else about SmackDown you want to talk about?
I'm thinking.
Yeah, I know it's hard. It's like I just watched it a couple hours ago.
No, I don't think so, man. Just like, yeah, you know, the Usos, you know, they did a good job. That match was good, and you know, they're on fire, doing awesome. You know, just there was good stuff, but nothing like that outstanding. That was just like, holy cow, like, you know.
Yeah, Raw. I think Raw definitely beat SmackDown this week.
Yeah, this week they really did. Just like they had an ace up their sleeve and they played it hard with the Cena Orton thing.
Yeah, which is
the Cena Reigns thing. Sorry.
Which is fine. I mean, Raw has the next pay-per-view, and so they have to go hard to the next pay-per-view.
I mean, it's not for another like 3-4 weeks,
yeah.
So they're kind of. It feels like they're jumping the gun with doing that segment now. But if it's just to kind of let things boil, and build and build and build and build and then finally explode, like, awesome.
I agree. So yeah, I think that's probably one of the reasons why SmackDown wasn't as spectacular.
They don't quite have something to build to yet. So.
Yeah. Eventually, I mean, they will, and I think they've set some things. And like I said, I really enjoyed the Rumble and all of the imagery it gave me anyway when I watched it. And so for me, Raw beats SmackDown this week by quite a bit. So for SmackDown, what grade would you give it?
I'd give it a B-, I think. Just nothing bad, but nothing spectacular. Some good stuff for sure, but nothing spectacular. That, I mean, I just didn't see any way that Raw could be overshadowed, and I was pretty right. So. And yeah, I just love that Bobby Roode is on SmackDown though. So they do have that. That's, you know, I'm still elating that.
Yeah, I want to see a program with him. I don't know where they're gonna go after these. And like I said, they're not squash matches by any means.
They're just not that long.
No, they're not that long. They're good matches. I want to see what they have planned for him.
Hopefully him and Ziggler. I think that could be good.
Speaking of Ziggler, that whole thing, I hope they don't do the Eva Marie Emma thing with him. But I think it's funny. I like when he comes out and it's like, they want this. Like,
he's making fun of everybody.
And WWE, and that, again, everything that both of these episodes have done have shown that WWE is listening to fans.
Mm-hmm.
It's listening to. If you're listening now, we understand that you're listening to fans. And you're making fun of, you know, the rumors. I mean, even with the Enzo stuff, his character's kind of that douchebag character. What he did on 205 Live, he won the match in heelish fashion by putting his feet on the ropes and pinning. And so I'm interested there. You know, I'm interested to see what happens with his character. It's an interesting time in the WWE. I'm assuming Vince still has his hands on everything and listens to everything, and so he has okayed and given his blessing that things that fans are saying we make fun of and we put in our skits and we put into everything we're doing. But it's nice. I mean, these last two episodes, there was some nice in joking, breaking, like Cena said, breaking the fourth wall and being like, we hear you, fans, and we're going to show you how crazy we can be with your feedback. So both shows were overall fun, and so for me, I would give SmackDown Live a C+, mostly because I'm not invested in the main event card right now. I think Jinder's a fine champion, but I just don't care for that belt right now. And actually I don't care about the Universal belt either, as much as I do the heavyweights in that picture. So yeah, I mean that's my thoughts on SmackDown Live. Any other thoughts or anything that you want to talk about?
No, not really.
Okay.
So yeah, I think that's pretty much because like SmackDown just seemed like it just kind of breezed by, like,
yep,
no pun intended, but But yeah, like it just seemed like a walk in the park compared to Raw. And yeah, I know it's an hour shorter, but still, usually they're good about putting a lot of stuff in that 2 hours to. So yeah, but yeah, it just seemed like it did seem like they didn't have stuff to do. It just seemed like it was all it just seemed like it went by really quick.
Yeah, I think they put a lot of stuff in, but the storylines, outside of the Breezango stuff, the storylines are just kind of meh right now.
Yeah, so hopefully we'll find out
Breezango and the Usos.
who Breezango is getting accosted by.
Yep.
So hopefully we'll find that out, because that's just everything those guys are doing is fantastic, and the fans love them, and we love them too. You guys are fantastic. You can do no wrong. Keep it up. So.
Agreed.
Yeah, I need to watch the next season of Southpaw Regional Wrestling. I haven't watched any of it yet. Really looking forward to it. They had a little call to it on Raw, and I thought that was cool. Jerry, being in Memphis, I thought that was cool. We had Jerry the King as a guest. They just need to bring him back full time as a commentator on.
I agree.
On Raw, because Booker was just filling in and stuff like that. It seemed, but now it seemed like he might have been staying on. I don't know, but. I don't know. I love Jerry the King Lawler. He's a great announcer. He's one of my favorites. So yeah, he did such a great job. They need to bring him back because I miss hearing his voice on. He's always in the games, announcing. In the games, he's always announcing. So why not bring him back?
Yeah, and I like Booker too, but
I do too. But
Jerry, there's just something about Jerry, like you said, Jerry's voice and his pedigree, I guess, in wrestling, that it's nice to hear him every once in a while. Yeah, agreed.
Anyway, so this is my funny story.
Oh yeah, funny story.
Just so random. So yeah, after I watched, it's I was an hour and a half behind, and watching on DVR SmackDown. And when I was done, I was just like, huh, interesting. I fell asleep, and I basically had a dream of what happened after SmackDown. There was on WWE.com, you can see the exclusive what happened after it had thing. And so Randy picks up Shinsuke. It's in my dream. He picks up Shinsuke in the fireman's carry, and he does an F5 type thing, but it's an F5 dropped into an RKO. It's his new move.
Oh, okay.
And he does it, and he breaks Shinsuke's nose.
Oh wow.
And so that's his new thing, is he's busting guys' faces. That's
a great idea.
I know. It was just I woke up, I was like, huh? Wait, what? And then he moved on from that to another move where it was the same thing, fireman's carry, but he spins them, grabs their head, and then kind of drops them into the zigzag type thing. But he drops them legs first, and so it breaks their leg, and then that's his new thing, is he's breaking people's legs. And so it was just I woke up, I was just what was that?
That's
he's
funny.
busting guys' faces, and then he moves on to breaking legs. I was that was weird, because he did the thing against. I'm gonna have to send you the video of it, and then you'll have to watch the match on the network. It's pretty awesome. Where he had it was one of my favorite feuds leading up to one of my favorite matches. It was pretty good. It was Randy and CM Punk back in 2011, where it was when CM Punk was in charge of the New Nexus. He was the leader of that stable, and they were costing Randy all of these title opportunities and stuff like that, and so they started attacking him, and then he one by one would attack the Nexus members and then punt them in the head, and then they take him out of commission. So eventually it was just him and CM Punk, and then they had this big blow off match at WrestleMania, which was really awesome and stuff. So it was kind of a continuation of that. It was a sort of a callback to that, but it was just so silly because he's just breaking people's noses, and
that's really funny.
It was just such a weird random dream, and I thought I gotta share that because it's just so random.
That's pretty funny. Awesome.
Yerp.
So next week you want to talk about the first round of the Mae Young Classic?
Yeah. We can talk about that.
Spoiler alert. Not a big fan.
No, really.
I love JR. I love him. But he is awful.
Oh, really?
And so is Lita. Lita's the worst. There's no chemistry in between. And
that's too bad.
Little spoiler. They are awful. At least in the first round. They are not fun to listen to.
Really? That's too bad. That's really sad. Because, I mean, last year in the Cruiserweight Classic, dude, Morrow and Daniel Bryan were so great.
They were great.
And then in the UK tourney with Cole and McGuinness, like, I mean, anybody who says Michael Cole is terrible needs to watch the UK tourney again, because
when he's under Triple H's watch,
when it's just him and Triple H and he gets to freestyle and do whatever, Michael Cole is brilliant. He's good. But when Vince is in his ear, whoever is in his ear, say this, it's just like, just let Cole be Cole, man.
And I'll say this as well. I think Morrow on NXT is way better than he was on SmackDown Live.
That's what I've been hearing. Because I'm glad that he stayed, and I'm glad that they put him on NXT, because I feel like NXT needed a little something. Yeah. Because I like Tom Phillips, but I feel like Tom Phillips is better on SmackDown with, you don't need a big personality as the main guy, because you have JBL there. Yep. So I feel like Morrow is a big personality to have on the NXT commentating team.
And like I said, he is so much better under Triple H's watch. And again, I'm not trying to pit Triple H versus Vince, but Triple H has a better product right now. Mm-hmm. Just saying. But Morrow sounds like Morrow, not a carbon copy of Cole or JBL or whatever. Mm-hmm. Listening to him call the match between Mayweather and McGregor, like, that's the Morrow that you hear on NXT, which is great. I'm super excited about that. But you're right, Morrow and Daniel Bryan were excellent. I have a hard time. I should just mute it because I have a hard time listening to it. And honestly, there's only two really good matches. There were a couple of really interesting moves in a couple of matches, but there are only really two good matches for the first round. And honestly, I'm not too high on Shayna Baszler. The way she the way she hits is really stupid. There's a lot of stuff that
hopefully, as the tournament goes on and the matches will get longer and the competitors become fewer, hopefully the matches will get better.
Yeah, you can tell there's a lot of green in this talent. They saved two of the better indie wrestlers who are going to be indie wrestlers probably for a long time. Candice LeRae, her match was solid. She was solid in that match. And Tessa Blanchard, so much better than what she was a year or two ago. That match was really well done. Her and I cannot think of her name. Sane, Kiri Sane. I can't remember how you pronounce her first name. She's really fun to watch. Sane has a heck of an elbow. Like, her finishing move is she gets up and she drops an elbow, like, insanely cool looking elbow. So I'm as of right now, I'm disappointed in the way things going. I'm interested to see what you think about it next week.
Right now, I'm not that excited.
I know. I'm sorry. I debated whether or not to tell you, but I needed to sell someone, and you're the only one that will listen.
Yeah. Like, I'll still watch it. But yeah, that's too bad to hear, because I was interested in seeing how JR and Lita would be on the commentary, but that's too bad.
So far, first round, they're not great.
That's too bad.
Lita is kind of the worst. I love you, Lita. You're great in the ring, but you are not a good commentator. I don't know why they couldn't find somebody better. I hate to say that, but
yeah, like somebody with more personality, like somebody like Trish, or bring back Beth Phoenix or Kelly Kelly or something.
Yeah. Somebody who has mic presence.
Yeah.
And anyway, I was really disappointed in the commentary, and the matches haven't been horrible. There haven't been a match that was like, why did I watch that? It's just been matches that's like, not. I've seen women's matches be really good, and these are not them.
Yeah.
But we'll see what happens next round. But we'll talk about the first round next week.
All right.
Anything else?
Oh no, I think we can go ahead. Send this home. Sorry for the yawn.
Time to go take naps.
It is. I'm gonna fall into a food coma after eating that General Tso's chicken. It was delicioso. Everybody, go to your local Walmart and support them by getting some of their delicious deli General Tso's chicken. There's your plug, Walmart. Give me my money.
That's right.
All right, everybody. Thanks for stopping by. I'm Caleb DeJournette, the man with the AJ Styles hair, and of course, he is Jeremy Robinson, the man with the Jim Neidhart beard. Thanks for stopping by, everybody. We'll see you next week. Peace.